We have now 4.2, City Council, City Manager to issue encouraging statements to recognize city staff. Before I ask the group if that's if they have anything, which generally we do, I'd like to point out that in the first, I think the first meeting of the most recent term, Ms. Trish Reiner put this on the agenda, and we have had it on the agenda. I think only one time did we miss it from having it on the agenda. We've had it on the agenda ever since. I think it's a great tradition. I think our staff needs recognition each and every time that we are here and able to do it. And tonight, there may be another tradition starting. We've talked about a little bit of history. We talk about the history of this building. As of tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of the dedication of this building. The 20th anniversary, and I think the carpet's still the same. Is that right? Yeah. We're working on that. But this is where history lives, and I think that recognizing our staff and recognizing our history, spend a couple of minutes on those every couple of weeks, not a bad thing. We'll talk about it further, I'm sure. Mr. Kaufman.
If you could you play that slideshow of the old City Hall that was in demolition and then restored back to our new building? Just a couple of pictures there I wanted y'all to see. We found these in a former employee's database that worked here for decades, and she left us her files, so we were privileged to have these old pictures. That was before my time here. I know many of y'all lived here and saw that change. There's some key employees that were involved with the city back then, and there's our new building as it was getting close to being occupied, I guess. And I'm going to tell you all a little story. I drove by this building when it was under construction in about 2001, and I was with my dad. He lived in the Thorpe Springs area on the lake, and I said, "What in the world are they building there?" And he said, "That's the new City Hall." And I said, "I need to be the city manager there someday." And so, you know, little did I know the prophecy came to truth. So here's a picture of the celebration, and that's a commemorative keychain that we had back in those days. So anyway, congratulations to a well-invested piece of equipment for the city to use and citizens to enjoy. There's been all kinds of use for this room and other areas of the building, meetings, emergency operations. You know, the community uses this room for different functions, different training. It's really been a great asset to the community. And listen, I just got to give a big applaud to the folks that made the decisions at the time to build such a fine facility for our community. This has been a beautiful building. It's a testimony to the excellence that our city provides to the community. And so anyway, I just want to thank those people. I don't know if they're watching this or they're in the room, but there was people that made big decisions back then and had a lot of vision, and so we want to thank them. And of course, David Southern was one of them. He was the mayor at the time, and his health is failing, so keep him in your prayers. While we're on the topic of appreciation to staff, I just want to give a shout out and appreciation to our city secretary, Carla Walker, and Mickey Matlock, the deputy city secretary. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but there's a bunch of old historical city records at the old train depot museum. The Genealogical Society has those, and they've been working with us for about 5 years and sharing those records with us, and our city secretary staff have been scanning those records into our database to where we have those records here. At one point, we didn't have those records, and from what I understand, they were at the courthouse at one point, and when they were remodeling the courthouse for that historical preservation, they almost got thrown away, and Karen Nance rescued them and took them to the Depot Museum, and they are on file down there. There's some really neat old records, but goes back to those old minutes and things from the 1900s, early 1900s, maybe even beyond that. I don't know how old they are, but Carla, thank you for doing that and leading that effort and getting that done, because that's some vital information that we like to have on hand here at the city. So that's all I've got.
Yeah, there are so many people that work behind the scenes that make things happen and go well each and every day, and certainly those two and many of the people out here are a part of that.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bell.
Just one comment. I just want to recognize a beautiful job that Aaron McLean and the Parks team, along with Rick Crownover and Kenneth Causey with the Utility Department, really have just transformed this city. I think we've all had an opportunity to walk around downtown. I know I have, from various events last weekend, the weekend before. And the city really is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'd call it the winter Norman Rockwell print, and it really is. It's just absolutely beautiful, and the team does a great job, obviously, with all the decorations in town. They start fairly early, but they do a fantastic job, and we should thank them for all of their efforts. It's turned the city into just a beautiful place, so thank you.
Yeah. I would encourage each of you to stop and just spend a few moments looking out toward the park from the balcony up here. It is absolutely a gorgeous piece of work back there. And we thank not just the parks crew, talk about the electrical. It is a total city effort to make this happen back there.